everybody, it's April, your director from the A-Team, and today I'm going to talk about host coaching. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is this host coaching outline that I'm going to upload to our team page. Sorry, I'm being like blinded by the sun. I've had to try to move so you guys can actually see me. It's 2 pages. First page, there's a little box at the top that's going to have the area where you write all your hostess information, the name, address, what kind of party it is, the party date, the brand, if you sent a host packet, if you've added it to your workstation, all those kind of things. The great thing about keeping a little packet like this for yourself so that it kind of prompts you on when to call, when to message, when to check in with your hostess, is when you get more than 1 or 2 parties booked for the month, it can get very confusing trying to remember who you've contacted, who you've sent what to, whose party is on what date, what type of party they're having, what brand the party is for. So this is a really great way to stay organized. There's some hints on here about helping your host build a wish list, helping them build their guest list. One thing I do for invitations is I always ask if my hostess is on Facebook. Facebook is such a great outlet. You can do a Facebook event. If anybody is not familiar with doing a Facebook event, let me know and I can add you to one of mine just so you can kind of see how I do it, and you can copy and paste and kind of make it your own and see how I do mine and then tweak it however you would like. When I do a Facebook event, I also tell my hostess to make sure that she invites everybody on her friends list, because you never know who needs something for a baby shower, for a birthday present, for, I don't know, a graduation gift, you name it. So even if they have a friend, say they live in Ohio and they have a friend in Texas, that person down in Texas say, oh, that's perfect. So-and-so is having a Scentsy party and I need a gift. So I can hop right online, order it, it shows up at their door, and now your hostess already has some sales towards her party. And there comes the sun again. My goodness. So you always want to tell your hostesses to over-invite, and especially on the Facebook event page. And then your job as a consultant is to make sure all those guests know that even though they're out of town, they can get right on online and order from the host party link. I don't really do mail invitations. It's not really my thing. Some people do it, and if you would like to offer that to your host to mail out invitations, I know a lot of people do that. And then I always, when I'm doing my hostess coaching, I always let them know, you know, if you think that Scentsy, Grace Adele, or Velada might be something for you, let me know. And after your party, before we enter it in and you decide to sign up, you can have the party as your first party to enter. So it's just a good way to, if you mention that early on, it gives them some time to kind of, you know, start thinking about it. Because a lot of people, before you mention it, have never even considered the opportunity before. So the hints for call number 2. So on the sheet, it basically says that, you know, that you want to call 3 times. And then that's going to depend on, you know, how soon the party is scheduled. When, you know, some people might call and say, I want to have a party next weekend. So then you're going to have to kind of condense everything. If they book a month out, then you kind of separate it out. But you want to stay in constant contact with your host. Just check in with them. Make sure they're inviting people, kind of get an idea of how many people they're going to have so you know how much stuff to bring. You don't want to bring, you know, 20 catalogs and things if there's only going to be 5 guests. Or, you know, if you're going to play games at your party, you don't want to go through all the time and effort in setting up games for 15 people if only 3 people are going to show up. So, staying in contact with your host is really important. The more time you spend with your host, helping them understand how it all works, the better party they're going to be able to have, which means more sales for you. Reminder calls, make sure that you let your host know to call their guest and remind them, or send out a text message or a Facebook message. Let's see. The other thing I do for it's not really host coaching, but it kind of goes along with it, is a lot of times I always offer the opportunities to my hostess. So if they're going to have a party in 2 weeks, I say, hey, would you like to take a basket party? That way you can gather orders from your friends, family, people at work, church, wherever. If people aren't going to be able to make the party, they can still look through a catalog. They still have some scents to smell, and they can place their order. That way, you show up to your hostess's house, and she's already got $200 in orders before her party's even started. So between doing a basket party before their party and the Facebook event and adding all their friends on their friends list, so that's reaching their out-of-town crew. Here I'm shining again. Running from the sun. Sorry, guys. So between the basket party and the Facebook event and then the actual party, you're really setting yourself and your hostess up to have the best party possible. So the last thing on this host coaching outline is a box called, let's see here, the post-show information. So that is a good way for you to keep track of the date that you have set to close. So you're going to want to work with your hostess, and I always try to close within a few days so that people don't have to wait for shipping. If you have a party and then you wait, 2 weeks, it's against policy. We are not supposed to wait any longer than 5 days to close out a party once you've actually had the event. But people want to get their stuff, and if it's a time like right now during fall and winter, things might sell out. So if you wait a long time, the next thing you know, a popular warmer, like say the Santa Claus warmer is sold out and you've sold 5 of those. Now you have to contact all those people and see what they want to do. You could lose orders, or they're going to be upset because now they have to pick out something different. So the date that you're closing, the date that the party submitted, if there's anybody interested in the opportunity, if you got any bookings from it. So it's just a good way to keep everything in one. You have 2 sheets, staple them together. You have all the information that you need on who you've contacted so far, all the information of what happened to your party afterwards, the party total, the number of guests, and if you've sent your thank yous. So really this is like your go-to, and then you can keep that with your order form. So if you ever need information about that party, say that host rebooks, you can go back and see, okay, this is what happened, this is how everything went at her party last time. So this is a really great little piece of information. I will upload this to our team page. If you guys have any questions or ideas that you would like to share about things that you do for your hostesses that really work out, like I said, my best tips are the Facebook event and making sure that you let your hostess know to over-invite and to invite everybody on her Facebook friends list, because that's you're going to reach a lot of out-of-town people too. And those people are, they might want to do an online party. When you have a captive audience like that in a Facebook event page, you can post in there, hey, who wants to be the next one to host? Because always make sure, that's another thing I forgot to talk about, always make sure you let your hostess know. If any of your friends book a party, you get an extra half-price item when they actually host their party. So if your hostess has a party and 5 of her friends book parties, that's 5 more half-off items that she's going to get as they hold their own parties. That's what the perpetual reward is for. So I'm going to wrap it up and keep it nice and short and sweet so you guys don't have to sit in front of the computer for a half an hour and watch this. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to comment on this post on our team page and we can answer them and discuss ideas and share ideas. And I hope this has been a little bit helpful for everybody and you've got a couple of tips out of it that you can take forward in your businesses and use to grow. And let me know what we want to do for our next topic and I'll get working on it. All right, bye guys.